Okay, hi बच्चों, am I audible and visible to all of you? Am I audible and visible बच्चों? I can see I am visible. I just want to know, am I audible? Good evening, good evening. Oh, I love you too, बच्चों, and my आशीर्वाद, my blessings are always with all of you. चलो, ठीक है. So, as I said, this is part 2 of the image based session where I'll be discussing instruments also and all the images with respect to labor. Now, when we are talking about images with respect to labor, सबसे पहले जो image आती है ना, that is images related to fetal position. This is very, very important, right? So, fetal position से related images के लिए there are 3 important concepts which you have to keep in mind. If you apply these 3 rules, your questions related to fetal images will never be wrong. So this is image A, this is image B. सबसे पहले whenever you get a question related to images of fetal position, identify the occiput. अब occiput कैसे identify करोगे? Occiput को identify करोगे with the help of posterior fontanelle. And all of you know that posterior fontanelle is triangular, right? So I am going to see this mark the posterior fontanelle. अब ये देखो कि ये जो posterior, तो सबसे पहले posterior fontanelle को mark करो. नंबर 2 ये देखो कि ये जो पोस्टीरियर fontanelle है whether it is closer to sacral promontory or whether it is closer to pubic symphysis. If it is closer to pubic symphysis, it becomes occipito-anterior. If it is closer to sacral promontory, it becomes occipito-posterior. And if it is in midway, it becomes occipito-transverse. अब हमारी इमेज में, इमेज A में, it is closer to sacral promontory. So it becomes occipito-posterior. राइट नाउ थर्ड थिंग, अगर आपका राइट है तो मदर का लेफ्ट है, अगर आपका लेफ्ट है तो मदर का राइट है. ऑलवेज योर लेफ्ट एंड मदर्स लेफ्ट आर ऑपोजिट टू ईच अदर, राइट. एंड क्योंकि हम जब डिलीवरी, एंड व्हाई डज दिस हैपन, क्योंकि जब हम डिलीवरी कराते हैं वी आर फेसिंग टुवर्ड्स द फेस ऑफ द मदर. सो माई लेफ्ट एंड मदर्स राइट विल कॉरेस्पॉन्ड एंड माई राइट एंड मदर्स लेफ्ट विल कॉरेस्पॉन्ड, राइट. सो यहां पे दिस इज your right, this is my right, तो मदर का क्या होगा? Left. So number 1 image is LOP. Clear to all of you? Now let us look at image B and apply the same rules to image B. सबसे पहले I will identify the posterior fontanelle, that is the occiput. Now I am going to see कि occiput pubic symphysis के पास है कि sacral promontory के पास है. Because it is closer to pubic symphysis, it is occipito-anterior. And क्योंकि ये मेरा right है तो ये mother का क्या हो जाएगा? Left. So image A is left occipito-posterior, image B is left occipito-anterior. Clear to all of you? Any confusions here? No, सारे लोग image से related, I mean position से related images के आंसर सही कराओगे. Is this concept very, very clear to all of you? ठीक है. If this is clear, now comes second set of images. ये जो second set of images हैं, they are all Leupold Menuers image. Leupold Menuers. Now, when we are talking about Leupold maneuver, please understand, Leupold के first 3 maneuver are done while you are facing towards the face of the patient. So, first 3 के लिए you have to face towards the face of the patient, right? And last वाले maneuver में you are going to face towards the feet of the patient, right? Now, if you look at this image, in this image, both the hands are near the, okay, so in this image, both the hands, पहले इसको देखो, सबसे पहले इसको देखो. In this image, both the hands are near the fundus of the uterus. If it is near the fundus of the uterus, then that is Leupold's first maneuver. Leupold's first maneuver is also called as fundal grip. Fundal grip, right? And Leopold's first maneuver हमें क्या information देगा? Number 1, it will tell you about the lie, and number 2, it will tell you about presentation. अगर Leopold's first maneuver empty आता है, fundal grip empty आती है, that means it is transverse lie. अगर हमें कुछ भी part feel हो रहा है, that means it's longitudinal lie, right? Then we have to see कि हमें feel क्या हो रहा है fundus वाले area में. If in the fundus area I can feel a broad, smooth, soft surface, that means you are feeling the buttocks. That means head नीचे है, that is it is cephalic presentation. अगर fundal grip में हमें hard, globular, firm structure feel हो रहा है, that means head ऊपर है and buttocks नीचे है, that means breech presentation, right? Now comes the second image. In this image, you can see the hands are near the umbilicus. So this is called as the umbilical grip, or this is called as lateral grip. Umbilical grip या lateral grip हमें क्या बताता है? Umbilical grip या lateral grip tells about the position of the fetus. जिस साइड पे बेबी की बैक होती है उसी साइड पे ऑक्सीपुट होता है. तो यानी कि अगर बेबी की बैक इज टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, सो पोजीशन हैज टू बी एलओटी, एलओए और एलओपी. अगर बैक इज टुवर्ड्स राइट हैंड साइड, सो दैट मीन्स पोजीशन हैज टू बी आरओए, आरओपी, आरओटी. सो एक्चुअली ल्यूपॉल्स सेकंड मैनूवर टेल्स यू अबाउट द पोजीशन, राइट? अब उसके बाद देखो दिस वन. इन दिस मैनूवर अ सिंगल हैंड इज यूज्ड, एंड ये सिंगल हैंड कहां पे प्रेजेंट है? ये सिंगल हैंड प्रेजेंट है पेल्विक एरिया में. दैट मीन्स दिस इज ल्यूपॉल्स थर्ड मैन्यूअर. इन ल्यूपॉल्स थर्ड मैन्यूअर, which is also called as Pollick grip. Pollick grip, right? Leopold's third maneuver is going to tell you, number 1, it is going to tell you about the presentation. Number 2, it is going to tell you whether the head has entered the pelvis or not. That means whether engaged है head की नहीं. That means head engaged or not. Right? So Leopold's third maneuver is telling you about presentation, and it is telling you head is engaged or not. Now you are going to tell me in the chat box, when we say head is engaged, on per vaginal examination, where do you feel the head? And on per abdominal examination, how is the head felt? Prajwal, beta, why do you want to know that how to check CPD by abdominal method? Right, that is called as Munroker's method, Muller-Munroker's method, and that will not be asked, right? That's a practical thing. So tell me, head engaged है कि नहीं है? बेटा पीके हब, आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू दिस. ये जो डाइवर्ज और कन्वर्ज का कॉन्सेप्ट होता है, ये कॉन्सेप्ट मिलता है ल्यूपॉल्स फोर्थ मैनूवर में, राइट? आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू, टेल मी दिस मच कि व्हेन डू यू से हेड इज एंगेज्ड, पर वेजाइनली क्या फील होगा जब आप कहोगे हेड इज एंगेज्ड, एंड पर अब्डोमिनली क्या फील होगा जब आप कहोगे हेड इज एंगेज्ड? हेड को एंगेज तब कहोगे व्हेन पर वेजाइनली head is felt at 0 station. If head of the baby is felt at 0 station, then you say that head is engaged. Per abdominally, if less than equal to 2/5 of the head is palpable. When less than equal to 2/5 of the head is palpable, then you say head is engaged, right? What is the time of engagement? At what time engagement occurs in a primigravida female and in a multigravida female? What is the time of engagement? What is the time of engagement in a primi? कब head engage होता है? The time of engagement in primi is 38 weeks, and in multi it is at the onset of labor. So at the onset of labor, head is going to be engaged, right? That is the time for engagement. Next question. Now, in primigravida, because the head is engaged around 38 weeks, right? So that means at the onset of labor, most of the times head of the baby would be engaged in primigravida. Now I'm saying कि I was doing a per abdominal examination, एक primigravida मेरे पास labor में आई, and I see कि at the time of labor, her head is not engaged. So I want to ask you, what is the most common cause of non-engagement of fetal head in primi? What is the most common cause of non-engagement of fetal head in primi? Range होती है engagement की 36 to 38 weeks. In primi, the range is 36 to 38 weeks. Now tell me, what is the most common cause of non-engagement of fetal head in a primi? Most common cause. Excellent, Sheetal. It is deflexed head. Most common cause is deflexed head. Second most common cause is CPD. Third most common cause is placenta previa. But most common cause is deflexed head. Right? Deflexed अगर नहीं दिया है, then you are going to mark CPD. And अगर वो भी नहीं दिया है, then you are going to mark it as placenta previa. Okay. Now coming to this maneuver. In this maneuver, two hands are present in the pelvic area, and you can see that now it is being done. The maneuver is being performed by facing towards the feet of the patient. So this is Leopold's fourth maneuver. Leopold's fourth maneuver is also called as deep pelvic grip. It is also called as a deep pelvic grip. अब Leopold's fourth maneuver से हमें क्या क्या पता लगेगा? Number one, the findings of third maneuver will be confirmed. That means what is going to be confirmed? You are going to confirm the presentation and you are going to confirm whether engagement has happened or not. Number two, one additional information जो Leopold's fourth maneuver देता है, जो कि कोई और नहीं देता है, that is about the attitude of the fetus. What do you understand by attitude of the fetus? Attitude of the fetus का मतलब है relationship of different parts of the fetus with each other. And the most common attitude in fetus is that of flexion. If you have seen all babies in utero, their all body parts are flexed, right? शिल्पा, इसीलिए हम कभी भी pelvic grip 1, pelvic grip 2 terms नहीं यूज करते हैं. हम pollic grip and deep pelvic grip यूज करते हैं. Nowadays we don't use the terms pelvic grip 1 and pelvic grip 2, right? We use pollic grip and deep pelvic grip. ठीक है? Now coming to maneuvers which are used in breech. Now please remember, whenever you are using maneuvers in breech, there are three parts of the body जहाँ पे maneuver use होते हैं. Number one, to deliver the legs or the buttocks. Number two, to deliver the shoulder, right? And number three, to deliver the head. ठीक है? Now if you see an image जहाँ पे buttocks are being delivered and a finger is placed in the groin area. आप groin area पे finger रखिए आपने and you are delivering the buttocks. That is called as groin traction. Groin traction is used to deliver the buttocks in case of flexed breech. So in case of flexed breech, जब breech के legs and thighs both are flexed, and तब जब आप यूज करते हो अपनी buttocks, अपनी finger को डालते हो groin area में ताकि buttocks deliver हो जाएं, that is called as groin traction. Then you are going to see an image जिसमें fingers are being taken up till the popliteal fossa. So यहाँ पे when you see fingers are being taken up to the popliteal fossa, I have always told you P for Pinard, P for popliteal fossa. So this maneuver is called as Pinard's maneuver, and Pinard's maneuver is used for delivery of legs in extended breech. जब फ्रैंक ब्रीच होता है, फ्रैंक ब्रीच के केस में अगर मुझे लेग्स को डिलीवर करना है, then I use Pinard's maneuver. Groin traction I use in flexed breech, right? Pinard's maneuver I use in frank breech. समझ में आया? Right. Now these are the only two maneuvers which are used for delivering the buttocks and the legs. Now comes the shoulder delivery. Now if you are seeing an image like this जहां पे बेबी के legs deliver हो गए हैं and आपने अपने hand को रखा है in the back area, as I told you, whichever part has to be delivered, it has to be directly behind pubic symphysis. तो जब बेबी के शोल्डर डिलीवर नहीं हो रहे होते हैं, आई प्रिज्यूम कि बेबी के शोल्डर आर नॉट बिहाइंड प्यूबिक सिम्फाइसिस. आई कीप माई फिंगर्स ऑन द बैक ऑफ द बेबी एंड रोटेट द बैक, ताकि बैक जो है डायरेक्टली बिहाइंड प्यूबिक सिम्फाइसिस आ जाए. सो इफ यू सी दैट द लेग्स आर डिलीवर्ड and you have kept hand on the back of the baby and you are rotating the back, that is called as Lovset's maneuver. Lovset's maneuver. Lovset's maneuver is for delivery of shoulder in case of breech, right? Then comes the delivery of head in breech. Now because head is the last part to be delivered in breech, it is called as after coming head of breech. Now जब भी head की delivery हो रही है और आपको images दिखाई गई हैं, the most important thing to see first of all कि baby की back कहाँ face कर रही है. Back anterior face करनी चाहिए. अगर बेबी की बैक एंटीरियर है, then I can deliver the head by 3 methods. Number 1, Burn Marshall technique. Number 2, malar flexion, shoulder traction technique. And number 3 is by using a special forceps, that is Piper's forceps, right? Now, अगर back posterior है, then there is only one maneuver and that is Prague's maneuver. Right? So, what I have to see is कि back of the baby anterior है कि back of the baby posterior है. Now in this case you are seeing the back of the baby is anterior, right? Back of the baby is anterior. So and what you are seeing कि हमने baby को hang करने दिया by its own weight. फिर मैंने baby के feet को पकड़ा and feet को पकड़ के I am taking towards mother's abdomen. So what are you seeing in this image? You are seeing कि back anterior है. You are seeing that we have let the baby hang by its own weight. Then we are holding the feet of the baby and taking it towards mother's abdomen. This is what is called as Burn Marshall technique. Right? Now, in this next image, again, before you comment upon कि कौन सा maneuver perform हो रहा है, you have to see that the back of the baby is anterior. Now, if back of the baby is anterior and 2 fingers are placed on cheek of the baby, 2 fingers are placed on the cheek of the baby and right hand की fingers, ये left hand की fingers are on the cheek of the baby, right hand की fingers are on the shoulder of the baby, right? This is what is called as malar flexion shoulder traction, right? This is malar flexion shoulder traction. Malar flexion shoulder traction is also called as Morrisseau Smiley Wheat technique. Morrisseau Smiley wheat technique. Right? Now in दोनों maneuvers में where was the back of the baby? The back of the baby was anterior. Now I'm going to show you an image. In this image, I just want you to see this image now. Both the images I am placing side by side so that you can compare them. ये देखो, एक ये इमेज देखो एंड एक ये इमेज देखो. देखो, दोनों में डिफरेंस देखो बेटा. इन कलर्ड वाली इमेज बैक ऑफ द बेबी इज एंटीरियर. बैक ऑफ द एंटीरियर, बैक एंटीरियर है और आप बेबी के लेग्स को टुवर्ड्स मदर्स एब्डोमेन लेकर जा रहे हो, देन दिस इज बर्न मार्शल. बैक पोस्टीरियर है एंड आप बेबी के लेग्स को टुवर्ड्स मदर्स एब्डोमेन लेकर जा रहे हो, देन दैट इज Prague's maneuver. Prague's maneuver. Are you understanding this, all of you? Will you be able to differentiate between Prague's maneuver and Lofsit's maneuver? Yes? Any issues over here? ठीक है? Will you be able to differentiate? Just tell me yes or no. Yes? Okay. Now look at this maneuver. अब इस मैनूवर में क्या ब्रीच डिलीवर हो रहा है कि नॉर्मल डिलीवरी हो रही है? नॉर्मल डिलीवरी हो रही है, ब्रीच की डिलीवरी नहीं हो रही. केवल एक ही मैनूवर है जो यूज करते हैं नॉर्मल वेजाइनल डिलीवरी में. इन नॉर्मल वेजाइनल डिलीवरी the maneuver which you use is called as modified Röntgen maneuver. Modified Röntgen maneuver. In modified Röntgen maneuver, your one hand is on the perineum to support the perineum, and with other hand you are gradually delivering the head. So, एक हाथ पेरिनियम पे है, दूसरे हाथ से आप ग्रेजुअली डिलीवर कर रहे हो हेड को. दिस इज व्हाट इज मॉडिफाइड Röntgen maneuver. Now, in breech delivery, I want to ask you 2 to 3 questions. Tell me question number 1. What is the most common cause of breech? What is the most common cause of breech? Quickly, what is the most common cause of breech? Let's quickly revise breech delivery. I'm waiting for your answers. Most common cause of breech. Excellent, Shobha. It is preterm baby या premature delivery. Question number 2. Most common cause of recurrent breech. What is the most common cause of recurrent breech? रिकरेंट ब्रीच का मोस्ट कॉमन कॉज क्या है? यूट्राइन malformations. Uterine malformations. Right? Next question. Most common cause of death in breech. Most common cause of death in breech. Intracranial hemorrhage. That is the most common cause of death in breech. Right? Now, next. In which case of breech, you have to do cesarean section? In which cases of breech you have to do a cesarean section? So, if there is knee presentation, if there is footling presentation, knee presentation, footling presentation, right? Or if there is a stargazer breech. What do you mean beta by stargazer breech? Stargazer breech का मतलब होता है, see normally all the parts of the baby are flexed. Now, तो जब भी breech होता है, breech में head of the baby is flexed. अगर baby का head extended है in breech, stargazer breech का मतलब कि बेबी का हेड इज एक्सटेंडेड। तो अगर बेबी का हेड एक्सटेंडेड है एंड इट इज ब्रीच, that is called as stargazer breach, and stargazer breach mein you have to do a cesarean section. Then if it is a preterm breach, right, और अगर breach है with previous cesarean section patient, अगर breach है in a previous cesarean section patient, then also you have to go for a cesarean section. Clear? Have you understood? So in case of breach कब cesarean करना है? Knee presentation में, footling presentation में, stargazer breach. Stargazer breach का मतलब baby का head is extended. Preterm breach है या अगर breach है with previous cesarean section. Breach with previous cesarean section. Right? Now tell me, if I ask you, in which condition do you get maximum chances of cord prolapse? When do you get maximum chances of cord prolapse? कौन सी condition में मिलता है maximum chance of cord prolapse? Maximum chances of cord prolapse मिलता है transverse lie में. Transverse lie अगर ऑप्शन में नहीं दिया है then you are going to say footling. Footling नहीं दिया है then you are going to say knee. Clear to all of you? Okay. Then tell me. Question करते जाओ फटाफट से. Tell me, in case of transverse lie or in case of breach, if your patient is coming to you in antenatal period, what option do you have? In case of transverse lie या breach, अगर patient antenatal period में आ रही है, then what option do you have? Then you have an option of doing external cephalic version. External cephalic version. External cephalic version का क्या मतलब होता है कि पर abdominally हम बेबी को रोटेट करेंगे, पर abdominally बेबी को रोटेट करेंगे and we are going to make it cephalic. That is what is meant by external cephalic version. Right? Now external cephalic version कितने टाइम पे करते हैं? External cephalic version करते हैं 36 weeks of pregnancy पे. External cephalic version की prerequisite क्या होती है? External cephalic version की prerequisite होती है that there should be a single baby, I mean a single fetus. So twins नहीं होने चाहिए. There should be a single fetus. Right? Number 2, amniotic fluid should be adequate. Number 3, pelvis should be adequate. Number 4, membranes should not be ruptured. Number 5, it is done under continuous CTG guidance. Continuous CTG guidance. Right? So in these conditions, you are going to go for external cephalic version. When it comes to internal podalic version, इंटरनल पोडालिक वर्जन में आप अपना हाथ अंदर लेकर जाते हो यूट्रस के. दैट इज वाई एक्सटर्नल सेफेलिक वर्जन ओपीडी प्रोसीजर होता है. इसमें यूट्राइन रिलैक्सेंट की जरूरत होती है, कोई एनेस्थीसिया नहीं देना होता, टर्बिटुलिन देते हो आप. इंटरनल पोडालिक वर्जन में बिकॉज आप अपना हाथ अंदर लेकर जाते हो, सो दिस इज डन इन ओटी. This is done under general anesthesia. The only indication, sorry, yeah, the only indication is if second twin is transverse lie. If second twin is transverse lie, that is the only indication for doing internal podalic version. Clear to all of you? Okay. Now coming to these two images. अब बताओ इस इमेज में कौन सी इमेज इन्वर्जन की है एंड कौन सी इमेज प्रोलैप्स की है. In which image are you getting uterine inversion And in which image there is uterine prolapse, A or B? Quickly tell me. यूट्राइन इन्वर्जन किस में मिल रहा है एंड यूट्राइन प्रोलैप्स किस में मिल रहा है? Which image is showing you uterine inversion and which image is showing you uterine prolapse? Okay. Now, I just want all of you to understand if you are listening to this lecture for the first time. So, suppose these are the uterine supports. ये uterus के supports हैं. Right? Now, and this is the uterus. Right? So, here are the supports of the uterus and this over here is uterus. Now, अगर पूरा का पूरा uterus ऐसे नीचे आ जाएगा, then this is called as prolapse. And अगर यूट्रस इन्वर्ट होके बाहर आएगा, then it is called as inversion. तो जब भी prolapse and inversion, this is inversion. जब भी prolapse and inversion में difference जानना है, you have to look at the os. अगर os visible है in your image, that means it is prolapse. अगर os visible नहीं है, अगर os visible नहीं है, then that means it is inversion. अब इस image में, image A में os is not visible. If os is not visible, it is inversion. Image B में os is visible. See over here, the os is very much visible. And because os is visible, this is prolapse. Right? Now, quickly tell me that what are the supports of the uterus? What are the supports of the uterus? So, who is going to tell me the supports of the uterus? So, when we are talking about supports of the uterus, please remember in supports of the uterus, you have mechanical supports. Number 2, you have ligaments which support the uterus. And number 3, you have muscles which support the uterus. Now, when we are talking about uterus, cervix and vagina, there is an angle between cervix and vagina. इसको कहते हैं angle of anteversion. And there is an angle between uterus and cervix, which is called as angle of anteflexion. Now please understand, this is how, ये अगर vagina है, ये cervix है और ये uterus है. So this is how uterus, cervix and vagina are present in the body. एक angle होता है between vagina and cervix, V for vagina, V for version, angle of anteversion. एक होता है between cervix and uterus, that is angle of anteflexion. Anteversion का मतलब है कि जो fundus of the uterus है, that is facing towards pubic symphysis. अब अभी ये pubic symphysis की तरफ है, anteriorly है, तो इसको anteversion कहेंगे. जब fundus of the uterus पीछे की तरफ देखता है towards sacral promontory, उसको retroversion कहते हैं. तो ये anteversion, ये retroversion. राइट? अब ये देखो, जब यूट्रस एंटीवर्टेड होता है तो आगे ब्लैडर होता है. सो ब्लैडर डज नॉट अलाउ यूट्रस टू कम डाउन. राइट? दैट इज वाई तब तक का यूट्रस प्रोलैप्स नहीं हो सकता जब तक का वो रेट्रोवर्टेड ना हो जाए. एक बार यूट्रस रेट्रोवर्टेड होगा, अब वो प्रोलैप्स कर सकता है. राइट? सो मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय एंगल ऑफ एंटीवर्जन एंड एंटीफ्लेक्शन. Then the ligaments which support the uterus are transverse cervical ligament. Right? So where is transverse cervical ligament present? So अगर ये cervix है, ये pubic symphysis है and ये sacral promontory है. सो एक लिगामेंट होता है जो कि यूट्रस को कनेक्ट करता है विद प्यूबिक सिम्फाइसिस, इसको कहते हैं ट्रांसवर्स सर्वाइकल लिगामेंट। नंबर 2 आता है कार्डिनल लिगामेंट। कार्डिनल लिगामेंट क्या करता है? कार्डिनल लिगामेंट कनेक्ट करता है यूट्रस को टू पेल्विक साइड वॉल्स, राइट? तो पेल्विक की साइड वॉल से, दिस इज पेल्विक साइड वॉल, पेल्विक की साइड वॉल से जो लिगामेंट कनेक्ट करता है, दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज योर कार्डिनल लिगामेंट, राइट? एंड नंबर 3 इज योर uterosacral ligament, the one which is connecting the uterus to sacral promontory. Uterosacral ligament. Muscles which support the uterus, BLESD करो, BLESD, blessed. B for bulbospongiosus muscle, L for levator ani muscle, E for external urinary sphincter, S for superficial transverse perineal muscle, and D for deep transverse perineal muscles. Main support of the uterus is levator ani muscle. Please remember, levator ani muscle में pubococcygeus and iliococcygeus part होते हैं. सो लिवेटर एनाई मसल के दो पार्ट्स होते हैं, प्यूबोकॉक्सीजियस एंड इलियोकॉक्सीजियस. इस्चियोकॉक्सीजियस इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ लिवेटर एनाई मसल. दैट इज व्हाई इस्चियो वाले जितने नाम होते हैं, इस्चियोकॉक्सीजियस, इस्चियोकेवर्नोसस, दे आर द मसल्स विच डू नॉट सपोर्ट द यूट्रस. क्लियर? Now comes swellings on fetal head. Now there can be two kind of swellings on fetal head. One is a collection of fluid which is edema basically. That is caput succedaneum, and the other one is collection of blood which is cephalhematoma. Right? अब images में how are you going to differentiate between them? If you get a swelling above the periosteum, swelling is above the periosteum, swelling above, बेटा आई विल डू लेबर केयर गाइड, लेकिन जितने भी नर्सिंग के स्टूडेंट्स हैं NNL, अब स्टूडेंट्स अभी तो पूरा लेबर केयर गाइड समझाया था. 11 o'clock से लेकर 1 o'clock तक I was explaining you labor care guide and I was explaining you CTG, right? So if the swelling is above periosteum, that is caput succedaneum. If the swelling is below periosteum, that is cephalhematoma, right? Number 2, if you see that the swelling is crossing the suture lines, if it crosses the suture lines, that is caput succedaneum. If it does not cross suture lines, then that is cephalhematoma, right? The other differentiating features between caput succedaneum and cephalhematoma are here in this table. If you want, all of you can take a screenshot of this and go through it. Differentiating features between caput succedaneum and cephalhematoma. Now तुम सब ने कहा है, and here is one more. I am going to explain you quickly about labor care guide and WHO's modified partogram. Now कभी भी WHO modified partogram and labor care guide पे question आएगा, what are the differences between them? अगर partogram में you are seeing alert line and action line, that means this is modified WHO partogram. Modified WHO partogram में, right, in modified WHO partogram, it is based on earlier WHO recommendations. And according to earlier WHO recommendations, एक्टिव फेज स्टार्ट होता था 4 सेंटीमीटर्स डायलिटेशन पे. दैट इज वाई अगर यहां पे देखोगे तो 4 सेंटीमीटर से स्टार्ट हो रही है अलर्ट लाइन. सो इफ दे आस्क यू कि प्लॉटिंग बिगिंस in modified WHO partogram at. So plotting begins at 4 centimeters dilatation of the cervix. Right? Now, alert line जो होती है ये किस principle पे draw करी जाती है? Alert line is drawn on the principle that minimum dilatation in active phase should be 1 centimeter per hour. Right? So that is alert line. Alert line और action line के बीच में difference कितना होता है? 4 hours का difference होता है. Right? In modified WHO partogram, only active phase is plotted. Only active phase is plotted. Next important point. Each big square, ये देखो ये big square है. Each big square on a partogram represents 1 hour. ठीक? And small 30 minutes. That is what you need to know on modified WHO partogram. Every detail about the partogram I have explained to all the NNL students. Then I told you morning में कि if you are getting a partogram which has no alert line, no action line, that is WHO's labor care guide. WHO labor care guide में active phase भी represent करते हैं and second stage of labor को भी दिखाते हैं. So active phase भी represent होगा and second stage of labor भी represent होगा. In labor care guide, active phase begins at 5 centimeters dilatation of the cervix. In labor care guide, there is a new section which is included, that is supportive care section. Right? And supportive care section में 4 things have to be seen. Number 1, कितना oral fluid लिया patient ने, उसके पास कोई companion है कि नहीं है, pain relief के लिए what was done, and what is the posture of the patient. Right? So that is about the labor care guide. Rest all details I have taught you. Now let us quickly do those instruments which are important for you. Now look at this instrument which is there on the screen. What is this instrument? This is Sims posterior vaginal wall retractor. Right? Sims posterior vaginal wall retractor. What are the components of second stage? Nothing beta. Second stage में I have to see कि pushing हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है. Right? तो कितनी देर में patient push कर रही है and कब delivery हो रही है. That is in second stage. So this is Sims posterior vaginal wall retractor. ये non self retaining है, मुझे इसको हाथ में पकड़ के खड़े होना पड़ेगा. On the other hand, जब आपने posterior vaginal wall को retract किया तो anterior vaginal wall को भी retract करना है. Anterior vaginal wall को retract करने के लिए we use anterior vaginal wall retractor. ये जो anterior vaginal wall retractor होता है इसमें 2 loops होते हैं. Right? And ये दोनों loops में if you see closely transverse serrations बने हुए होते हैं. Please remember that it should be differentiated from blunt and sharp curate. जो curate होता है उसमें एक तो loop छोटे होंगे, right? And कभी भी transverse serrations नहीं होंगे. ठीक है? Clear to all of you? So this is anterior vaginal wall retractor. Now, this over here is Cusco's self-retaining vaginal speculum. In this speculum, I don't need an anterior vaginal wall retractor. I don't need a posterior vaginal wall retractor. This retractor will retract both the anterior and posterior vaginal walls. And इसमें screw है, that means it is self-retaining. ठीक है? बेटा WHO लेबर केयर गाइड मैंने सुबह पूरा पढ़ाया है. 11 o'clock से 1 o'clock तक I have told you WHO's labor care guide. So please don't spam this. कमेंट सेक्शन को स्पैम मत करो. आई हैव टॉट यू लेबर केयर गाइड मॉर्निंग 2 घंटे लगा के, राइट? ओके. Then you have this another retractor. This retractor is Ober's. Ober's weighted speculum. ये Ober's weighted speculum, राइट? इसमें एक वेट होता है. सो दिस इज Ober's weighted speculum. ठीक? ओके. Then we have this instrument here. This instrument here is used to hold the lip of the cervix. तो imagine करो मुझे cervix के अंदर enter करना है, तो मुझे cervix को hold करना पड़ेगा. To hold the cervix we use this instrument which is called as Valsalm. Valsalm. अब Valsalm में you have ratchet locks ताकि वो tight हो सके. Then there is a gap between the blades, very very important. Then it has got a concavity, right? And it will have multiple rat-like teeth. So अगर एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट मिल रहा है जिसके दोनों ब्लेड्स के बीच में गैप है, ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट कर्व्ड इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, एंड इसके आगे वाला जो पार्ट है, इट हैज गॉट rat-like teeth, then this is Valsalm, right? And this is used to hold the lips of the cervix. अब cervix की lips को hold करने के लिए nulliparous females में हम use करते हैं tenaculum, right? Tenaculum. Tenaculum में again if you see it has a very pointed single tooth. इसके भी दोनों blades के बीच में gap होता है, right? लेकिन इसमें एक sharp सा single tooth होता है, right? That is tenaculum. So tenaculum and Valsalm में बहुत difference है. Valsalm curved होता है and उसमें आगे rat like teeth मिलते हैं. Tenaculum बिल्कुल straight होगा and एक single tooth मिलेगा. That is tenaculum, right? Then now once I have held the lip of the cervix, now I want to know कि uterus का size कितना है and uterus anteverted है कि retroverted है. In order to know the size of the uterus and to know कि uterus anteverted है कि retroverted है, we use uterine sound. Now please understand, uterine sound and bladder sound अगर साथ साथ रखा हो, you should know how to differentiate between them. Uterine sound में you are going to get calibrations. मार्किंग्स मिलेंगी यूट्राइन साउंड में, एंड उसका टिप जो होता है राउंडेड टिप होता है, उसको ऑलिव टिप कहते हैं, राइट? जबकि अगर ब्लैडर साउंड देखोगे, इन अ ब्लैडर साउंड यू विल नेवर गेट एनी कैलिब्रेशंस एंड इसका टिप इज नॉट ऑलिव टिप्ड, राइट? सो प्लीज बी वेरी केयरफुल अबाउट यूट्राइन साउंड एंड bladder sound. Now the next instrument which I want all of you to see is Alice forceps. Again Alice forceps is an instrument जिसके बीच में गैप है, ब्लेड्स के बीच में गैप है, राइट? सो Valsalm के भी ब्लेड्स के बीच में गैप था, Alice forceps के भी ब्लेड के बीच में गैप है. डिफरेंस ये होता है कि Valsalm का साइज बड़ा होता है, एंड अगर इमेज में साइज नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो Valsalm में आगे एक कर्व मिलता है, right? Valsalm में there was a curve. Can you see? It was curved. Whereas in Alice forceps there is no curve. Right? It's straight. It doesn't have any curve. Right? इसमें भी rat-like teeth होंगे, Valsalm में भी rat-like teeth होंगे, but it does not have any curve. Right? Alice forceps. Now, Alice forceps is used to hold all tough structures. कोई भी tough structure पकड़ना है, अगर angle of uterus पकड़ना है, rectus sheath पकड़नी है, apex of episiotomy पकड़नी है, then you are going to use Alice forceps. Now comes another instrument which has teeth, राइट, बट इसके ब्लेड के बीच में गैप नहीं होता है, एंड इसमें एक साइड पे सिंगल टूथ होगा एंड दूसरी साइड पे मल्टीपल टीथ होंगे. This is Cocker's forceps. So in Cocker's forceps, there is no gap between the blades. On one side, you are going to have one tooth. On the other side, you are going to have two teeth. And there are transverse serrations between the blades. Right? So that is a Cocker's forceps. I'll just now show you tenaculum and Cocker's forceps में अंतर. देखो, tenaculum, valsellum, Alice forceps. सबके बीच में यू आर गेटिंग अ गैप बिटवीन द ब्लेड्स, लेकिन कॉकर्स फॉर्सेप्स में बेटा यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी गैप बिटवीन द ब्लेड्स. ये देखो, कॉकर्स फॉर्सेप्स में देयर इज नो गैप बिटवीन द ब्लेड्स. राइट. नंबर 2, टेनाकुलम में सिंगल पॉइंटेड टीथ होगा. इन केस ऑफ कॉकर्स फॉर्सेप्स एक साइड पे मल्टीपल टीथ होंगे, एक साइड पे सिंगल टूथ होगा. राइट. Cocker's forceps is used for artificial rupture of membranes, या अगर आपको pedicles को clamp करना है vaginal hysterectomy में, then you are going to use it, या you can use it to hold tough structures like you used for Alice forceps. Right? Now, tough structures के लिए we have Alice forceps. Tubular structures के लिए we have got Babcock's forceps. Babcock's forceps के जो ends होते हैं, this is a very typical forceps. इसके ends are inverted, right? So can you see over here? This is a very very typical forceps. Babcock's forceps. Tubular ऐसे जाके ट्यूब की तरह end बना लेते हैं, right? So this is a Babcock's forceps. In Babcock's forceps, there is no teeth because it is used to hold tubular soft structures. And अगर tubular soft structure पकड़ने हैं, it should not have any teeth. Its ends are curved like this, but there are no teeth. Right? Then over here, this is a sponge holding forceps. So this over here is a sponge holding forceps. I don't think so कि sponge holding forceps में कभी भी कोई confusion होगा, because for painting and draping we are using sponge holding forceps. Now if you get a forceps which has a spoon shaped end, although ये forceps है लेकिन ये बाकी forceps से different क्यों है? ये बाकी forceps से different क्यों है? Because it does not have any lock. All forceps are going to have a ratchet lock. जितने भी forceps होते हैं सब में lock होता है, बट ये एक ऐसा forceps है, ovum forceps, which does not have any lock and it has a spoon shaped end. So this is what is ovum forceps, right? So these were all the forceps which you need to know. Now coming to the retractors which you need to know. So number 1 retractor is a question mark shaped retractor which is called as Deaver's retractor. ये जो Deaver's retractor होता है, it's a long retractor and that is why जब आप hysterectomy में अगर आपको abdominal organs को retract करना है, for example if I'm doing Wertheim's hysterectomy या if I'm doing internal iliac artery ligation and I want to retract the abdominal organs, then I use this Deaver's retractor which is a question mark shaped retractor. ठीक है? Now next comes a second retractor. This second retractor has broad end and it is at 90 degrees. Blade is at 90 degrees to the handle and अगर blade को देखोगे तो blade flat है. 3 चीजें याद रखनी है. Broad blade at 90 degrees and the blade is flat. Why I am telling you these 3 things? क्योंकि जैसे ही आप ब्लेड को कर्व कर देते हो, ये मॉरिस की जगह क्या हो जाता है? डॉयंस हो जाता है. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर, ब्रॉड ब्लेड, 90 degrees flat blade, that is Morris retractor, right? Morris retractor is used to retract the abdominal wall during surgeries. So अगर मुझे abdominal wall को retract करना है, I'm going to use a Morris retractor. Similar to Morris retractor, but broad end है, but curved है, right? Now this is curved. Broad but curved. Broad and curved है तो that is what is your Doyen's retractor, right? And Doyen's retractor is used to retract the bladder during hysterectomy. So please remember, जब मैं abdominal hysterectomy करूंगी, there are 3 structures which I might have to retract. So bladder को retract करने के लिए I will use Doyen's retractor. वॉल को रिट्रैक्ट करने के लिए आई विल यूज मॉरिस रिट्रैक्टर एंड abdominal organs को रिट्रैक्ट करने के लिए आई एम गोइंग टू यूज Deaver's retractor. Right? Now, please remember, Morris retractor broad end था, 90 degrees पे था, flat था. अब broad ना हो के बाकी सारी चीजें सेम हो, narrow हो, 90 degrees पे हो and flat हो, then that is called as Langen-Beck retractor. That's called as Langen-Beck retractor. So ये जो Langen-Beck retractor है, you've read it, Dr. Rohan must have taught you in surgery and you use it in certain orthopedic surgeries. That is a Langen-Beck retractor. ठीक है? Clear to all of you? Yes, it's an L-shaped retractor. The Langen-Beck's retractor. Now I want all of you to understand कि अगर मुझे ब्लैडर को रिट्रैक्ट करना है ड्यूरिंग abdominal surgeries, I will use Doyen's retractor. बट अगर मुझे ब्लैडर को रिट्रैक्ट करना है ड्यूरिंग vaginal hysterectomy, I will use a Landon's retractor. Landon retractor is exactly at 90 degrees, right? And इसका कोई आगे curve नहीं होता, बिल्कुल flat होता है. Please compare Langenberg and Landon. Landon is exactly flat and it doesn't have a curve. Compare this with Langenbeck. ये देखो. Compare both of them. See here. If there is a curved end in front, that is Langenbeck. If it is absolutely flat, then that is Landon's retractor. Landon retractor कहाँ पे use करते हो? To retract the bladder during vaginal hysterectomy. Clear? Have you understood the difference between Langenbeck and Landon's? Any confusion between the two? Langenbeck and Landon's. Langenbeck is used in surgery, right? General surgery में, whenever you have to retract intestines or in orthopedic surgery, and Landon's is used in gynae surgeries to retract the bladder, right? Okay. Now this is Belfort's self-retaining retractor. यहाँ पे the screws are there and I don't need to hold it. So whenever I am doing longer surgeries, for example, I'm doing a radical hysterectomy, I'm doing a Wertheim's hysterectomy, then I'm going to use this Belfort's self-retaining retractor, right? Now, so this is Belfort's abdominal retractor, self-retaining retractor, and this is how it appears when it is placed. Okay, this is Belfort's self-retaining retractor. Now this instrument over here is again, it has a ratchet lock and it has a triangular flat end with serrations. So if there is a triangular flat end है and serrations हैं, right? Then that is green armitage. Green armitage को किस में यूज करते हैं? Green armitage को यूज करते हैं to hold the angles of the uterus. So जब मुझे यूट्रस को स्टिच करना है, cesarean किया, now I want to stitch the uterus. So angles of the uterus को hold करने के लिए I use green armitage. Right? So please see over here. This is green armitage. Right? It has flat end, it is triangular and it has transverse serrations. Clear? Okay. Then this instrument over here is a myoma screw. ये जो मायोमा जिसका पूरा नाम होता है बोनीज मायोमा स्क्रू. सो सपोज दिस ओवर हियर इज अ फॉर फाइब्रॉइड. अब फाइब्रॉइड को मुझे पकड़ना है ना, अगर मुझे फाइब्रॉइड को रिमूव करना है, तो what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screw over here and I'm going to hold the fibroid ताकि I can remove it. So fibroid को hold करने के लिए you use a fibroid screw which is a myoma screw. Next image I want you to see are two images which I want you to compare. Two ultrasound images which should be compared. See here. These two ultrasound images, image A and B. I am labeling this as A and this one as B. Right? Hemostat कैसे होता है? Hemostat किसमें कैसे होता है बेटा? Now, image A में you are seeing small follicles which are arranged around the periphery. So, small follicles arranged around the periphery, which is called as necklace appearance. And this is an ultrasound of PCOS. On the other hand, image B mein, right, you are seeing big follicles. And when you get big follicles, it is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. So image A is PCOS, image B is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, which is an iatrogenic complication of IVF. जब हम IVF करते हैं, this kind of complication can happen, that is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, right? Next, you have to tell me what is this swelling which you are seeing over here. Please remember, whenever you are getting a swelling on the labia and this swelling is seen after delivery, then that is a vulval hematoma. And if there is a swelling which is not seen after delivery, right, it has no relation to delivery, then that is Bartholin cyst. ठीक है? So labia पे there can be swellings. अगर swelling after delivery आ रही है, that's a vulval hematoma. Vulval hematoma में patient is going to complain of difficulty in passing urine. Patient is going to have a lot of perineal pain या pelvic pressure feel होगा उसको, right, and her BP will decrease. In Bartholin cyst, patient will say that she has difficulty in performing coitus. Whenever she is having intercourse, the swelling will appear and then after some time it disappears, right? Now, vulval hematoma का management क्या होता है? Vulval hematoma is conservatively managed with ice pack and analgesics, right? लेकिन अगर vulval hematoma का size increase कर रहा है, if it is leading to severe pain or if patient is going in shock, three conditions I have told you. If size is increasing, if patient is going in shock, or if patient is having severe pain, in these three conditions, you have to do incision and drainage of the hematoma. Only in these three conditions, if size is increasing, if patient is going into shock, or if there is severe pain. Now, in case of Bartholin cyst, management of Bartholin cyst has changed and I want all of you to note down the updated management of Bartholin cyst. So, Bartholin cyst and Bartholin abscess. Bartholin abscess कैसे पता लगेगा? There will be redness which will be present. There will be increased temperature and pain. All this indicates that there is Bartholin abscess. Bartholin abscess का treatment always is incision and drainage. When it comes to Bartholin cyst, अगर Bartholin cyst symptomatic है, if the Bartholin cyst is symptomatic, then again you have to do incision and drainage. If Bartholin cyst is asymptomatic, in that case, look at the size of the cyst. If cyst is less than 3 centimeters, then you have to do conservative management. If it is more than equal to 3 centimeters, then you go for incision and drainage, right? Now, if Bartholin cyst is recurrent, if it is a recurrent Bartholin cyst, then you go for marsupilization. Marsupilization. Clear to all of you? So this is how you manage a Bartholin cyst, and this is all what I wanted to tell you in images related to midwifery, whether it is obs-gynae images or whether it was images related to labor or whether it was images related to midwifery or gynae. All images I have covered with you. Nothing beyond this can be asked in images, right? So all the best, bachon. Take care, and see you all after the exam with best results which you can expect. And I will be saying all the best to you, all of you, on Instagram. So one day I'm going to meet you on Instagram for a session on cancers. So cancers I am not taking up today. One of these days, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll take up cancers with you. Now it's too late. I think you people are also tired. Take rest, and I will take your cancers either tomorrow or day after tomorrow on Insta live session, right? Forceps delivery mein what do you want me to explain, beta? What do you want me to explain in forceps delivery? Okay, chalo. Take care, all of you. Bye. All the best. Keep studying hard and don't have doubts. Don't have self-doubts. Everything will happen good. You will remember what you have learned, and I have full confidence in all of you. All the best to you all.